A very good morning to you here live on Rugby.com.au. Welcome to TG Millner here in Eastwood, the home of Eastwood Rugby Club, for this clash between the Australian Schools Barbarians and Fiji Schools in what is going to be a festival of rugby here today at TG Millner. We've got this game coming up between these two sides, and then after that we've got the big clash between Australia Schools and New Zealand Schools. The kickoff is at 1 p.m. And then following on from that, we have in the NRC, Fiji and Drua playing the Greater Sydney Rams as we get ready for both teams coming together for the anthems. And I'll quickly run through the Australian schoolboys side for you. We have Apisanti Dritti, Oliver Barden, Egan Siggs, Max Douglas, Tom Isles, Brodie McCaskill, Will Holland, Luke Moretti, Dylan Dowling, Campbell Parata, Lincoln Smith, Will Goddard, Joey Walton, Billy Leah and Max Dowd as we stand ready for the anthems. Well, how good was that? And I'm joined by ARU General Manager High Performance, my co-commentator today, Ben Whittaker. Wits, hello to you. Big clash coming up between the Aussie Schools Barbarians and this Fiji Schools side as well.
Morning, Patrick. It's awesome to be here. We thought last Saturday was Super Saturday up at Bond, but here today we've got it on again. A lovely TG Millner Field looks superb, and as usual we have an extremely physical-looking Fiji team taking on a very talented Australian Schools Barbarians team. Can't wait. Yeah,
the Fiji team just getting ready for their traditional welcome. A little slight moment with the players by themselves just before we kick off. We'll just run through quickly the Fiji Schools starting 15. We have Bernardo Vulaka-Ukvaki, Mona Mosilutu, Penny Kunabuli, Apisaya Tuwai, Anare, Lutuma Alagi, Emosi Narube, Penny Narube, Anulagi Miri Alolo, Lameki, Bolalatha, Douglas DeVita at fly half, Anari Wasakara, Amanda Shishore, and Juitu Buki Nolo, Tanyela, Sowi Nasola, and Liam Kikau. We played fly half the other day, has moved to fullback. So a big physical Fijian Schools/under-18 side, and they'll be ready for this clash. The Barbarians certainly showed a lot in asking the New Zealand Schools side the other day some questions, Wits, but were unable to cross for the try line, so they're going to have to work hard today, no doubt.
They will, Patrick, and I think that, as usually in these games, they're better for the run, so they'll come really well prepared today, and it's great to see them in those Australian Barbarians jerseys.
And we've kicked off here at TG Millner as the Barbars kick it in deep, just on this short side in front of us. Barbarians maintaining possession. There goes Dowling, manages to find Parata. Dowling looking for the ball again. Finds Parata, and then a nice inside run, and this is pretty good from Goddard, who manages to bash his way through a Fijian tackle. Barbarians looking dangerous on the outside. This is Tom Miles from Marist College in Canberra. Gets a couple extra metres. And that's fortunately just a little fumble of that ball at the back of the breakdown.
Yeah, shame there. They look like they had some good shape there going right. And look, one of the things with the Fijians team over the last couple of years is they've really started to shore up structures around defence. So they're not an easy team to break. And you've really got to be patient and you've got to be very, very accurate. So that's what the Barbarians will be looking to do today.
So we've got a scrum just outside the 22 for Fiji Schools. About 20 metres in from that far sideline. Good scrum by the Barbarians. They're putting pressure on the Fiji pack, but the ball's good for Mirialolo. Ball taken back, so they can't kick it out. The ball's allowed to bounce. It goes into the hands of the Australian fullback, Dowd. Dowd gives it off to Parata, who's going to have a run at the line. Sorry, that was Lincoln Smith. Gets a couple extra metres just short of the halfway line. Dowd. Little fumble, but taken eventually into contact. Fiji putting a little pressure on the breakdown. There's Dowling.
Advantage. Which number?
Looks like a Fijian player's been...
Best deal. Number 8. Offside. Number 8.
So number 8. That was Miri Alolo. Just creeping up a little bit offside in his enthusiasm, Ben.
Yeah, you can see. So they're going to get off the line really quick here and they're going to try and be really physical. Great start in the set piece for the Barbarians, and I think that's going to be a focus for them to really launch some strong attack. They've got a fantastic 10-12 combination here today. Very, very skillful. Both fly halves by trade and big kickers of the football. So we'll be able to get out of trouble. But I'd like to see them really use this ball well, particularly in the inside the Fiji's 20 metres.
Well, if you've just joined us live on Rugby.com.au, welcome. This is the Australian Schools Barbarians, effectively the Aussie Schools seconds team, taking on the best from Fiji, the Fiji Schools side, and there's plenty of talent in both of these packs. As we have the first line out of the game, it's taken comfortably by Australian Schools, and the Aussie Barbars just move it through the hands. Here goes Leah, who's just short of the 22. Dowling goes hunting for the ball, and they're all up on McCaskill very quickly. There's motors into the Fijian line. The Australians decide to go left, and hammered in the tackle was Will Holland, the younger brother of Aussie Sevens captain Louis Holland.
Not rolling.
Not rolling is the call.
Be interesting to see what the Australian Barbarians do here, whether they go for line or take the early 3.
I'm always about the 3 personally, but...
yeah, nice and conservative, Patrick. I think,
that was the problem with my rugby.
Fair enough. Look, they're certainly having a chat about it anyway. They're going to go for line, Patrick, and I think they'll sort of... They launched quite nicely off that last line out, and I dare say they'll sort of go mid to back a line out again.
Just make sure your players are
to really put the Fijian team under some pressure.
So, an offensive line out as Australian prop Egan Siggs from the Southport School is going to throw this one in. Go to the back pod, the Australian pack taken well. Ball's come out at the side though loosely, but it's taken by Siggs, who's got a wall of black jerseys upon him quickly. The Australian Barbars forwards will have to motor if they're going to secure back. Dowling goes hunting for the ball. He's got inside runners, and that was McCaskill. He gets away from one, is still going. Sorry, that was Moretti. Dowling goes to the right again. He finds the fly up. The Australian back's having a crack. This is a great run by Walton, just short of the line. They're going to the right. Ball pass just wasn't there, and it's been taken by Fiji. This is Davita. He tries to kick through and probably should have just pinned the ears back and had a bit of a crack, but Australian Schools showing something there, but just lacking that finish.
That's a good call there. You sort of saw there that they're still going to come up quick in defence. And if we stay patient, there's going to be gaps in and outside that defender that rushes. And we saw it there. Last pass didn't go to hand, and that's where Fiji become dangerous. So swoop on the ball, and they've gone 20 metres upfield.
Well, the Australians have it back in the line again, and it's gone to Parata, who's thrown it on the inside. Here goes Moretti. Fiji looking to try and pilfer this, and may have done so, but Dowling manages to hunt it out, and he gets it to Isles, just inside the 22 now, but flirting with this close sideline.
Offside.
Another offside call against Fiji, right in front of the post. That is a gift 3 points if the Australian Schools Barbarians want it.
You know, at this level, Patrick, discipline's key. Yeah, it's particularly early in the game, and again, I'd be surprised if they didn't take the 3 and proven correct. And I think you can see with the Australian Barbarians, young Luke Moretti from Waverley College has been a key ball carrier early. Very good Waverley College team in 2017, took out the CAS Championships. There's quite a few scattered across the Australian Barbarians and actually the Australian Schoolboys team. And some really outstanding players there, and Luke being one of them, only a year 11 boy, and really plays some real strong football as we're seeing early in this game.
So Parata to take this kick. Here's the cousin of Matt Tamua.
Beautiful
successful conversion.
Alani, 2 quick penalties for offside. Can you just get your team to take a step at the
young
breakdown?
Campbell Parata, Patrick, takes after his cousin. He'll be kicking the goals from a long way out. I remember Matty Tamura as a 15-year-old guiding Queensland 2 under-16s, the national championships back in the 2000s, kicking goals from 50 metres consistently.
Well, just had a correction on that. It's Pattaya in the Australian Schools team is Matt Tamura's cousin, so that was my mistake. But Matt Tamura, talented player nonetheless, as goes in over the sideline just in front of us. 6 minutes gone in this game. It's Aussie Barbars 3, Fiji 0.
Don't worry about that one, mate. My story about Matty Tamura was 100% correct. So
that's good.
So at least we're going okay. This will be good to see the Australian Barbarians under a bit of defensive pressure here. They want to back themselves again to stay really disciplined. Put them on the ground early. We don't want high tackles here. Could be dangerous.
Goes in on the top, and a good line out taken by Fiji. Narubi in up the back. Australian Schools just giving away a penalty. So 2 advantages at the moment. Referee Patrick Davis blows the penalty.
Patrick, that's a great play by Fiji. Most people would expect them to play off the top, play to their backline strength, etc., but they bring the ball down and they maul. And without that infringement there, you know, that could have been a try. So well done, Fiji. Good coaching.
And there's a healthy Fijian contingent here at TG Millner today. And I said it the other day, wherever there's rugby, there's always Fijians, and it's fantastic to see.
Patrick, I went for a walk this morning down at Coogee Beach, and there was at least a dozen waiting for the bus down there ready to go. I'm sure they were coming this way.
I'm not going to repeat myself. Gap.
Bit of a trek from Coogee to the beautiful mighty home of Eastwood.
Beautiful trek. Beautiful Sydney.
Out to the back pod for Fiji Schools and a little offload. This is pretty dangerous. Tawaigo looks like he's going to go over, and I think he has. No. So coming back for the penalty.
7 green offside.
So Will Holland being called for offside. Fiji will get another crack at the line. This is Tuwai, the big man, who offloads to Kunabuli, who's gone in for the line.
Varnish not rolling.
Australian Barbars are giving away penalties left, right and centre at the moment.
Not rolling.
So Fiji take it quickly and they look to dive in short. This could be a try scoring opportunity.
Short.
As short of the line is the call. Mirilolo begging for the ball at the back at scrum half, and good defence there off the line from McCaskill.
Numbers left.
They look to move the big man, and that's a try to Penny Kunabuli, the Fijian prop, who scores the first try of this match and gives Fiji Schools the lead 5 points to 3, Ben.
Great comeback from Fiji. They got field position, or didn't have a lot of field position early in this game. They get 2-3 minutes in Australian Barbarians quarter, and they go over, and you can see the real importance here around Australian Barbarians moving off their line and making strong, low, dominant tackles to get them on the ground, because the offload's on all day, and we saw the big lock number 4 2 wide do it earlier, just missed out on a try, And then the tight head prop there, that close to the line, is always going to be difficult to stop.
Sort of 5 metres out.
William Kikau to take this conversion, who played fly half in the match the other day against Australian Schools. Australian Schools winning that match 29-3. And later on today, which at 1 o'clock here at TG Millner, Australian Schools will play New Zealand Schools. And that match will be broadcast live on Fox Sports. And interestingly enough, opting to not go for the kicking tee. Very much a 7 style. And that ball is shied away to the left. So no tee, no time for Kikau. So it's Fiji Schools 5 leading Barbarians 3.
I said earlier, Patrick, with this Barbarians team, that the tradition of wearing your club, or in this case school socks, is a great one. You can see there the colours there that represent their school. A lot of these players obviously spend up to 6 years playing for their school, really passionate about that, and I think it's fantastic that they can come out here and represent basically their country but also their schools and be visible.
Barbarians restart, and that's almost taken perfectly by Douglas. Just couldn't get the second grab on it. That would have been an offensive play from the tall lock.
It was great speed there by Max Douglas. His father, Cameron, outstanding first-grade footballer in Sydney for a long, long time. And it's great to see, these siblings, they're scattered right across these two teams today, coming through off the back of their fathers playing some really top rugby. So well done to Max Douglas and his father, Cameron.
So we'll get a scrum just outside Fiji's 22. A good squeeze there by the Australian Barbarians pack, and it's been taken by Aussie Barbars. I think they're playing advantage for a knock-on. We are. Just Dowling just couldn't get his hand on it. I think there was another player coming through and just cleaned him up a bit. So Fiji Schools have another crack with this scrum, but the Barbars pack is certainly asking questions.
Yeah, again, I'm sure that would have been the approach of the really experienced coach there in Brad Gill, a hooker himself when he played at Randwick Club, and also a product of the Newington College, was a back rower back in those days, and he'd see set piece as a real key here today, and they've started strongly.
Set!
Everyone on it, ready? Ready now!
Great scrum by the Aussie Barbars. Fiji under a lot of pressure, but the referee's seen it differently.
Angle, not pushing straight. One green angle.
Not pushing straight is the call.
Yeah, when we view these games, Patrick, we see there's a real great opportunity for these players to really adapt to higher levels of football. Thankfully, that ball didn't come through the roof. And this is why this is all. And there's a real good reason why these games are called test matches, right? They're tests every single time, and that scrummaging there, we've got dominant scrum. We've got to stay square, and we can still be dominant staying square.
Mose Lutu throws it in, but it's been pinched by Aussie Barbarians, and I think that was Douglas, but it's come back for Fiji Schools. That was too wide. Fiji playing a little bit of offloading style game at the moment. Oz Barbars muscling up in defence. Narube takes into contact. Kunabuli. He finds Bolathita. Kick through here from Fiji Schools, and Dowling has to motor back and try and get it. Taken into contact, but goes over that fast touchline, but rescued what could have been a slightly hairy situation.
Classic halfback play there by young Dowling, covering in behind there.
So, a line out here for Fiji. "13 minutes gone in this game. Fiji sent it to the back pot, and that's taken by Tuolu Tamata. And a little offload here for Fiji Schools. Could they get their second try here this morning? Barbars muscling up in defence. Kunabuli goes for the line, just short. Holland was playing for it, but didn't release the player in time, according to the referee. And this is dangerous from Fiji, as Bunikunu has a go at the line. Still going in short, the Fijians. They play it so quickly. The Aussie Barbars dive in, but managed to hold it up. We'll come back for that penalty.
There's an outstanding tackle from the Barbarians 13, Joe Walton from the Wadalba Community High School on the right side here. Here you go, Fiji again.
Fiji go over the line, and that is a try to Apasai Tuwai.
Captain.
And Fiji will get their second. As the referee is just going to have a chat here too.
This is the second time that they've come into your half.
Yeah.
And it's the third time we've had a penalty 5 metres out.
Yeah.
This one was for 7 green.
Yeah.
Did not release before he went for the ball, slowed their ball down. If it happens again in this area of the field, someone's going to the bin.
So pretty clear communication there from the referee.
Well, I think it's outstanding communication from the referee, and the Barbarians should be really clear on what's going to happen next if they infringe in that way in that 5 metre zone. And again, we see up and coming referees being tested at this level and doing a great job, and we get to hear every part of that communication, which obviously is a key component and attribute of some of these best referees coming through the system.
So they've opted for the kicking tee this time. This is Douglas DeVita.
Thank you.
In Fijian style, they're going to do it by tries, it looks like. But,
yep.
You can see already that Apasai Tuwai, the big number 4 for Fiji, has been a dominant ball carrier over the last 6-7 minutes. And he's sort of really put them on the front foot, particularly close to the line. And again, great offloading ability, probably about 6'4", 6'5". We've got to get him on the deck early so we can start to play the football on the ground a bit more from a Barbarians point of view.
So Fiji Schools 10, Australian Schools Barbarians 3. What can the Barbars do? Almost taken there by Australian Schools Barbars.
Backwards there for your line out.
So Fiji Schools line out. It's going to be taken by Moselutu to throw in. And again, almost spoiled by the Barbarians. Dowling is on Mosilutu very quickly. Fiji just box kick over the top. Here comes Lincoln Smith. Hits in the line hard. Hits high though, needs to get lower. Manages to find his way to the ground. Ball is available is the call. And Australian Barbarians haven't had possession for a few phases. What can they do now? They've got the pill.
Hands out.
Going in on the short side, Smith, and throws it back. Lost forward is the call, so Australian Schools will have to spoil it. They want to prevent a Fijian counter-attack. And
first play green, then black.
Double knock on, so we'll have a Fiji school scrum.
One thing you know about Fiji, they're going to commit in defence and the tackle, and you've got to commit to what you're trying to do in attack. Okay, you can't hope that ball lands in someone's hands. You really got to commit, and you got to know that often there's going to be someone in your way that's going to put a big hit on. But you really got to commit carrying that ball strongly.
Just hearing both packs having a bit of a breather.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Ball's fed in. This is a solid attack by Australian Schools Barbars, but Fiji Schools end up with the ball and they look to move it. This is Wunikulu. And well taken in the tackle. And now ball's come good for Goddard. He pounces on it quickly from Canberra Grammar School, part of the successful. And Dowling is going to have a crack for the line. He's got no one in front of him. Can he go for the corner? And he will score. So Dowling opens the scoring. Dylan Dowling for Australian Schools Barbarians. He just took an opportunity and saw a gap and ran away untouched, Ben Whittaker.
Did very well and really got some payoff, some fantastic work from Will Goddard, who swooped on that ball that got spilled by the Fijians. And then you watch the work of Joe Walton and the winger there, number 11, Lincoln Smith, to make sure we won the ball at the breakdown, which ultimately allowed Dylan Dowling from St Joseph's College to run away untouched, and a beautiful dive to score a well-earned 5-pointer.
And that narrows the gap to 2 with a kick to come.
You can see there, Patrick, I feel that like the Barbarians' backline defence has got that go forward in it that's putting Fiji under pressure. And we've caught them way behind the gain line. put the pressure on there with a spilled ball, and it's given them opportunities. So I like to think that they can start to utilise that principle right across the game.
Well, Campbell Parada now to have the kick. Looks towards the posts. Oh, and I think it's just going to shy to the left. It definitely had the engine. It just didn't have the accuracy. So Australian Schools Barbarians 8. They trail Fiji Schools 10 here at TG Millner Field in Eastwood. And if you're joining us here live on Rugby.com.au, welcome. This is a part of the international schoolboy rugby that's descended on Sydney over the last week. And later on today, we've got Australian schools playing New Zealand schools, and that match will be broadcast live on Rugby.com. On Fox Sports.
Time's off. Sorry, guys.
And they'll be kicking that broadcast off live from 12:50 today. So make sure you tune into that or get near a TV.
Another big encounter, that one, Patrick, a real traditional rivalry there. We've played New Zealand and the schoolboys now for well over 20, 30 years. Last 10 years, it's been 5 each.
Hamish, can you send one of the forces?
So this is the 11th year of that little set of 10 years, obviously, and we'll see who can get up that 6-5, unless it's a draw, but let's hope it's not a draw.
Let's hope it's not a draw.
Yeah, or if it is a draw, I think they might have golden point. But
is there golden point for schoolboys?
No, I made that up.
Okay.
But we'll make sure, it'd be really important to see how Australia can match up against their traditional rivals in New Zealand.
Wait, Hamish, wait.
We've just had a little substitution here. Penny Tuiuna Laba has entered the field of play.
He's staying on.
No,
just wait.
Now he might be leaving.
Time's back on.
Yep, he has left, so that was a very short interchange. As Australian Schools Barbars has just been knocked on by barnstorming Luke Moretti. Just couldn't hold on to it. So, and another knock on.
No advantage.
That was by Douglas DeVita.
What's that?
One thing you can't doubt in these games, Patrick, at any schoolboy level, is their keenness and their passion, and they'll do everything at 100 miles an hour. And sometimes there are mistakes that are made, and that's because of almost the pressure they're putting on themselves to really dig in here.
Great crowd here today as well at TG Millner. I'm sure it'll definitely fill up today with plenty of action coming up. The NRC also today as well. With Fiji and Drua taking on the Greater Sydney Rams.
Haven't they been a revelation for the NRC, Patrick? Fiji and Drua, a little bit inconsistent in the last couple of weeks, but don't they add some excitement to what already is an exciting competition in our NRC.
Absolutely.
Okay, secondly, you're in front.
And one of the key things here around this Fijian program at schoolboys level, we had Fiji participate in the under-16s Australian Championships last week. Obviously, we see them here today. They compete annually in either the Junior World Trophy or the Junior World Cup. They've got the NRC team now. They're really starting to pull together a pathway that will make them a real force. At senior level. And
a great partnership between Fiji Rugby and Australian Rugby. We have this scrum, and it's been good scrum there by the Aussie Barbars, but the referee says we're going to have it again. I wonder if referee Davis will be looking at a potential infringement. It looks like he might cross the other side.
Well, I think he might, Patrick. I mean, the scrum intellect between the two of us is not probably that great. However, you can still see that what the Barbarians need to do is try really hard to make sure that scrum remains square. They can still go forward. Obviously, there's the 1.5 metre push at schoolboy level, but can really put some pressure on by remaining square and not be caught for an infringement.
Fiji Schools, ball is fed in, and that is a solid scrum by the Australian Barbars pack, but Fiji managed to get it out to Bolafaha. Now the Barbars are defending. This is Tuimalaji, passes the ball. Barden makes the tackle. Bolafaha throws the ball back in the inside, does DeVita. Advantage.
Four's fine. Number 2 never made it back around the gate.
And they take it quickly. That was Tuwai, the try scorer, throws it again over the top, and this is dangerous. Looks like that was DeVita on that far side, Fiji Schools. Fiji just trying to earn the penalty off the referee.
No!
They take it quickly, just 3 metres short of the line now, Fiji Schools. 1 metre short. That was Bulaka'e. The Fiji Schools side probing and smashing this Aussie Barbars defence. Good defence on the line. Short by Dritti from Oz Schools.
Held up.
Held up is the call by Apansaya Dritti from Griffith High School. So Oz Barbars managed to wrestle their way out of immediate danger.
Well, they needed to dig in there, Patrick, didn't they? Because, again, Fiji on the front foot going to be very, very hard to stop inside that 5-10 metres. And you can see a real pattern emerging with number 4, Tuwai, taking a great tap there in true Fiji sort of style. Doesn't matter what position you play, you tap that ball and you run, usually in one hand. An offload there to a flying winger on the left side there would be Wakasaka. And, you know, they're dangerous. And we've got to really muscle up here in defence here, the Barbarians.
So a scrum on the Australian 5 metre line.
Crouch. Bind.
Luca, you get inside. This winger coming in.
Set.
Easy, boys, easy. Ready right now. Go, Luca.
Dowling
Lost forward.
made the tackle. Lost forward is the call. Stolen by Australian Schools. And this is Brody McCaskill who gets his side just outside the 22. Good communication there between the Australian players in defence. That ball's been touched on the way out. So we'll have an Australian line out. Oh no, the referee didn't see that.
Well, the captain's concerned about that play. Can just keep an eye.
So it was good defensive work in the end there on the right-hand side of that scrum there to stop that attack from Fiji. You see Brody McCaskill from Arranmore over in WA showing that there's players coming through that system there.
You've
Number
had numbers
6,
come in,
who
Australia,
was ready and alert to the breakout. And that's what we're going to have to be, you know, really alert here and take every opportunity.
Play on.
So time back on, 25 minutes gone in this match. Fiji Schools 10, lead Australia Schools 8.
Not straight.
Not straight is the call, so
Outside shoulder.
an opportunity now
Skipper.
for Aussie Schools. Barbars
Scrum.
not for the scrum, and that certainly has been an attacking weapon for them thus far in this game.
Just get the numbers on there. Just
So, mate, you're not the captain, sorry. Just bring him if you want to chat about something, okay?
Well, maybe young Will Holland has taken a leaf out of his brother Lewis, who is the captain for the Australian Sevens team when fit, and maybe he's channeling a bit of him just to get inside the ref's ear.
Set.
You got this. Ready now.
So, solid scrum. Dowling just goes hunting for it. Manages to find Parata. Nice little cut-out pass, and this is better from Walton. We haven't seen too much of him today.
No black. Taken back.
So have to kick over the top, and that's got a decent hoof on it. Kikau had to motor back to claim that one, and Barbars.
13. Retreat.
Now a little kickathon. Oh, and
Don't stay.
Dow just taken out potentially.
Backwards.
Referee seems fine with it. Ball's out the back, and scrappy ball for Fiji Schools. They take it on the short side, and a dangerous offload. We know they can do that. Just flirting with the touchline, but Holland hammered him, I think, in the tackle. So here goes the Tuwai, the try scorer. Devita throws a flat pass to Vinny Kolo. Fiji Schools just making a bit of territory at the moment as they go to that short side again. And there's Kunapuli, an inside ball to Bolaria.
No green.
About 10 metres in from that far touchline.
Play on.
Play on is the call from the referee.
No right.
Devita goes himself, throws and goes. Met in defence by Moretti. This may have been stolen from the Australian Schools Barbarians, and Dowling will do a little box kick over the top. And he has done so.
It's inside.
Very well inside the 22. Fiji Schools now have an opportunity to kick. And that is going to bang on the roof of the grandstand just in front of us. So end-to-end play at the moment.
Just been advised, Patrick, that quite a few of the numbers of the Fijians team are falling off. So this is really going to test you. But I know that you are easily up to the task.
Thank you.
Green. Black. Step.
Harrison Wakeling is part of the match day crew here, or the referee crew. So Dowling throws a little short pass on the inside, and Australian Schools, can they maintain some consistent possession? Flat pass there by Parata, and this is better from Walton. Walton throws it back on the inside. Now on the outside are the Barbars, and Walton regathers it, and he's going to have to be wrestled to the ground. Long place. Dowling finds his man in Parata. Throws a short pass on the inside to McCaskill. McCaskill looking for the offload. He's still going, McCaskill. He's going to go all the way. They didn't bring him to the ground, and he scores Australian Schools Barbarians' second try. A fantastic effort by the young man, and that gives the Barbarians the lead. Ben Whittaker.
Well, you can see there the Barbarians there, they were patient on that right-hand side. We had the rush defence from Fiji again, but they got outside that. They got to the wing. Great hands from Walton to receive that ball on the inside. They went to the middle.
Thanks, Mitch.
And again, you know, Brodie McCaskill, who showed earlier that he's a strong ball carrier, ball in two hands. You know what I mean? Has the defence sort of then checking whether he's going to run, pass, or even kick. And he breaks through that tackle, and he looks like a nice prospect there, playing at number 6. Strong ball carry, and put in a really good tackle here earlier on this left-hand side just in front of us, Patrick. So great reward there for some patience from the Australian Barbarians.
Yeah, absolutely. Maybe seeing just a bit of finally turning the corner in this game. They've been fighting so hard to maintain possession, and when they got some momentum, those Barbars have made Fiji Schools pay. So come for the kick now from Parata. Can he extend this lead? Kick looks good, and it's successful. So Oz Schools Barbars 15, they lead Fiji Schools 10. Just about 4 minutes to go to a half-time.
Yeah, and we talked earlier, Patrick, it's always risky sometimes playing Fiji that you don't sort of want to play like them. You know what I mean? They're very, very good at the offload. They keep the ball alive. You know, people sort of talk about them not having much structure, but you know what? There is actually structure to their game. And the risk is that you start to try and play like them. You've got to play your own game, very simple, you know what I mean? Very Jack Gibson-like, and be patient, and things will start to work, as got proved just then.
Well, that was Moretti who manages to grab that one, knocking on an earlier restart. Dowling. A little short pass, and here goes Holland, who's smashed in the tackle by DeVita. Parata taken over, kicks over the top, and a massive kick by the young man. And if he gets a lucky bounce, he's going to flirt with that far sideline, but it's taken by Liam Kikau. He's from Queen Victoria School in Fiji.
The beauty in a player like Campbell Parata playing at 10, Patrick, he's got a left foot. There's not a lot of left footers in Australian rugby at the senior level at the moment, and to exit out of your sort of 22 or 40 metre zone, if you've got a right and left foot kicker, you've got really good options, and he's obviously a good kicker of the football.
Step.
So Barden throw this ball in for Oz Schools, gets the ball over the top, and that's well taken by Douglas, Max Douglas. And this is better from the Australian Barbarians as they throw it flat and they get it out to Walton, Joey Walton. It's eventually brought to the ground. Dowling finds Parata and threw that about 8 metres forward, that one.
Oh, would have got away with that down at Coogee Oval back in the 1980s, but not here today at TG Millner, unfortunately. Just overran it there. Could have played out the back, maybe. I mean, it was still a good option to hit him, and that's where we just got to be again. A little bit more accurate.
And that was the challenge for both Aussie Schools teams the other day with just getting that timing of the pass. We've definitely seen an improvement today from the Barbars, but that one just slipping.
Yeah, you need to adapt quickly, don't you? I mean, they spend about a week together, which isn't a long time. You can see there not a lot of combinations there through the socks, you can see.
So here we go, a quick start taken by Australian Schools. What a run by Max Douglas. Just short of the 22, ran about 30 metres there, puts him side in an offensive position. Dowling finds Parata with a little short pass. He got that one right to Barden. Now gets the ball over the 22. Dowling with no pressure on him. He finds Tom Miles, who runs back into traffic. Looking to go to the left now. Not long flat cut-out pass to Lincoln Smith on the line, but he was met by the defence quickly, and that ball's been bundled over into touch. So we'll have a Fiji Schools line out, and Probably needed just to
Alani.
have a few more forward hit-ups before we went wide there, I would suggest.
It was a knock-on into
And you
touch.
can see there that my comment before about not playing
Do you
like
want a scrum?
Fiji,
Do you want a scrum or a line out?
fell on deaf ears there because the number 4 from the Australian Barbarians, young Max Douglas, took the quick tap and away
He
they
did.
went, you know what I mean? I think he's channeling
Galloped away.
Apposide 2Y, so it could be a 4-on-4 battle here for who can take the quickest tap.
And you know what? I'm up for it. As the ball goes over the top and Holland looked to grab that one, but just hasn't been able to. So Fiji Schools now with the ball and attempted charge down by Barden. They have taken the sting off that one. Oh, and a huge hit on Max Dowd, the Australian Schools fullback. Dowling. It's a little short pass to Oliver Barden.
Thank you,
Takes
Black. Well
Good
done.
forward hit up. Cut out pass to Parada, who's lost it forward. And we're getting close to the halftime break, and just a few errors creeping into the game now as
So
both
that
teams
clock's
are
correct.
probably in need of some oranges.
So there's
They are, but
10
coaches,
seconds left.
this is the period, Patrick, isn't it, when a lot of coaches, really want their teams to really zero in on what the task is. Just over 5 minutes remaining, you can see there. So young Max Dowd did a good job in the end, but you know they're coming, don't you? So it's a mind game as well as physical here, because you know they're coming. But he bounced off one after a bit of a fumble and did very, very well to maintain possession.
Another scrum just on halfway. The Australian pack earning a penalty off the last effort.
crouch,
What can they do here as
bind,
they cross over into extra time?
set.
Good pressure there by the Australian pack, and Fiji
At the same tunnel.
at the same
At the
tunnel.
same tunnel. Scrum here.
So another scrum.
Now, Patrick, whilst we've got a little bit of a break here, huge rap to Rob Frost and the team here at Eastwood Rugby Club for the condition of the ground here today. I mean,
Looks great.
they've
doesn't
had a
it?
full season here. They let everybody play on here. They're so good at enabling the community to experience this great field. And about 4 weeks ago, we had an NRC game here where the field was clearly under a bit of duress. And in 4 weeks, they've managed to do a fantastic job. So well done to Rob Frost and his team.
So good scrum again from Oz Schools, and they go back the same way to Vita. Still got the ball in possession, dances and weaves, but is eventually brought to ground by Dowling and co. So 2Y. There's a flat pass to Kunabuli. Met well in the tackle. Bulathaha. He gets it to Narubai. Bulathaha goes around the side, just unfortunate accidental offside, so kickable penalty in range if Fiji want it. 2Y. A couple of discussions in Fijian about what they're going to do.
Well, Egan Siggs there, unfortunately, just got on the wrong side of the breakdown, and it's classic how a lot of players in our game put their hands in the air to say, I'm offside, or but I'm okay. Putting your hands in the air doesn't make any difference, unfortunately.
Go out of phase.
Yeah, that's right.
So inside the 22, Fiji Schools going to have a crack here before we can get to the shed. So this is a real test for the Oz Schools Barbarians.
And they've set up options here, Patrick. They can even drive here clearly. The Australian Barbarians will be wary of that, and they'll also play off the top. So well done to Fiji for setting themselves up.
2Y takes it and gets the offload out the back ridiculously, and he finds DeVito, throws an inside ball to Kunabuli, the big man. Got a little knock on
Cross forward.
in the tackle. So Oz School Barbarians save the day, and they take the lead at halftime. They'll lead 15 points to 10 here in this international schoolboys clash at TG Millner Field in Eastwood. Ben, your quick thoughts on the first half?
Well, real test match, wasn't it, Patrick? I mean, the first 5-10 minutes, Australian Barbarians had a lot of the field position, in the ball. Looked pretty good in attack. Fiji got some possession and showed what they can do, particularly inside 5-10 metres near the line there, and scored a couple of good tries. But great patience from the Barbarians to come back and get ahead there just before half-time. But there's no doubt that they'll come out firing. The bench will play a role in the second half, and we're in for a cracking next 35 minutes.
Well, we're going to have a quick drink of water, so we'll just pause for a minute, but don't go away here live on Rugby.com.au. The second half action will be coming up in just a moment between Fiji Schools and Australian Schools Barbarians. And then later on today, live on Fox Sports, you can catch the Australia Schools clash against New Zealand Schools, and that is going to be an awesome test. And then on Fox as well, we have the NRC between Fiji and Drua and the Greater Sydney Rams. We'll be back in just a moment, live on Rugby.com.au.
Let's get started. Yeah. Thanks. just one thing. Early on, we had a couple of penalties for offside. It's gotten a lot better. What I'm going to do is if I come, there's a ruck there, if I just do this one, you can just get your...
Yes, welcome back live on Rugby.com.au. Ben Whittaker and I have hydrated ourselves after a very rigorous first half, as have the players.
Yeah, sure.
And we're ready to go underway here on Australian Schools taking on Fiji Schools. Oh, and let me turn your mic on, Wits. That'll help. There you go.
Thanks, Patrick. Just spent the half-time break there talking to a few of the key people involved in some of our Super Rugby teams. So you can see there's a lot of people in the crowd here that are very interested in these players here today. A lot of them are already associated to Super Rugby teams and club rugby teams across the country, which is great. But there's a lot of interest in these young schoolboy players out here today.
So we've restarted here at TG Millner in Sydney, and that is taken over the top. This is a great run there by Luca Moretti. Eventually gets to the ground and is able to place. Dowling. Short ball to Holland. Taken back, so Parada has to keep it in field of play and buries it deep to Kikau. Comes ball on the short side. Fiji Schools. Oh, having a penalty.
There's a strong tackle over there on the sideline by number 8, Luke Moretti. I didn't see anything dangerous in it, Patrick. It was a very strong tackle, though.
Little AR's just going to have a chat.
Green. Yep. Lifting tackle. Has he gone beyond the horizontal?
Yep.
He has?
Yep.
So we're thinking yellow card?
The only other thing I will say is well after he's passed the ball off.
Sure, yeah, so it's late
as well.
But he hasn't come down on his neck.
Correct.
I'm going to go a yellow card, okay?
So...
Captain, number 8.
Yellow card to Luca Moretti, so this will definitely change the vibe of this game.
So this is what we've seen. Number 8, after the ball has been passed and after the play...
I had my head down, didn't I?
It's fine. The main issue is that you've lifted him beyond the horizontal as you've tackled him, so it's going to be a yellow card.
So, stunned.
You had a lifting tackle, it's yellow card.
Stunned Moretti will have to leave the field there, Ben.
Yeah, well, I mean, the referee and the linesman, to be fair, were very clear on what they saw. And we know that any tackle where you're lifting the player, the ball carrier above horizontal, will result in a sanction. In this case, it's a yellow card. The player clearly wasn't tipped in any way to make it dangerous, but obviously going above the horizontal means that there's risk involved. And Luke will spend 10 minutes on the sideline, which, like you said, mate, could make a big difference here. He's been very influential in the Barbarians' attack and defence.
So Australian Schools now defending with 14 as Fiji Schools have the ball, and you'd argue momentum now. What can they do? And what damage can they inflict as they look to flick it outside? And this is Vunikolo, who loses it forward. But the Oz Schools Barbars will be out there, big, powerful number 8 at the back, guiding them home.
We'll just move it away from this.
They'll be trying to avoid as many scrums as possible in the next 10 minutes.
Well, the good thing, Patrick, is that their scrum's been really solid right from the opening whistle, so they'll back themselves to still stay nice and solid in that set piece to still give their back line some nice space to attack with.
Yeah, school, what did you do, sir?
Not more.
So that's the rules. Box in. Seconds. Go, boys.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
Dowling will look to get this in quickly. And he does a good rescue mission, and he finds his inside runner in Leah. Goes out the back to Parada. Pari finds Walton, who steps off one way, manages to get away from the tackle. Is eventually brought to the ground. The ball's been lost and stolen by Fiji Schools. And you see Walton bang his arm in the ground in frustration at allowing the ball to be lost.
Stay. Hey.
Short ball. This is Narube. Holland goes in to try and steal. Unikaka. This is Emosi Narube. Brought to ground just outside the Australian Schools Barbars 22. Two-tie. And a knock on. This is the battle of the fours. Max Douglas picks it up. I'll look to just get it out of here. Eventually wrestled to the ground as Max Dowd, who shaped kick and then didn't. Took the ball to the 22. Now Parada's going to have a crack, and he's had a huge kick, and he's going to find the touchline. So an excellent kick.
Outstanding clearance.
In touch.
Vili Leah. Sorry, Daniela Sowonasola tried to take that quickly.
Numbers 2 and 5, substitution.
Fiji Schools just making
substitution.
wholesale changes to their forwards.
It'll be really interesting how this changes the shape of the game, Patrick, because at this level, schoolboy level, there's not a lot of difference usually between your starting players and your bench, particularly through the selection process they go through. So they'll certainly add something, and I'm sure Australia, the Barbarians, will be soon to follow with some players off the bench.
Off black.
Off black is the call. So we'll have a line out to Oz Schools. So good pressure in the air by Max Douglas.
Guys, Max here. Step.
So the Barbarians now with a bit of possession, and they can hold on to this ball and wind down the clock until they're back to 15. Good throw in the air from Douglas from Augustine's College, and this is Will Goddard. Dowling, short ball. There's Lachlan Osborne, I think, who's entered the field of play.
Offside, number 13.
So offside 13, against Yuita Vuikonolo.
Sorry. Number 13, sorry, it's here.
And Patrick, you can see the impact there Lachlan Osborne made with a really strong carry. Came from depth, hit the ball flat and really made sure that the Fijians had to stick on him and make a tackle. He's a big boy, big kid at under 18. He's got some nice red boots, Lachlan Osborne, but what a great start from him, and I'm sure that'll give him the confidence to really rip in for the next 25 minutes.
So we're having just a little kick at goal here to try and nudge forward the lead here for the Australian Schools Barbarians. This is Campbell Parata. So this kick to extend the lead. Kick is high. It looks good, but it's just shied away to the right.
22.
It sounded beautiful off the boot, didn't it?
It did, yeah.
It was just in front of us here, and the mic from the referee gives you a real good sense of strong, solid contact.
Yeah, great vision and sound, thanks to our production crew at Double Take.
Outstanding, Patrick.
As the ball's kicked over the top by DeVita. Here comes Walton. The cut-out pass finds his fullback in Max Dowd.
Roll!
Counter-ruck strong by Fiji. They need to get it quickly. Dowling manages to rescue it. Here goes Barden. Big ginger hooker.
Release! Hey!
Dowling just box kicks over the top, looking for the bounce. This needs to land well for Fiji, and it's lucky for Liam Kikia that it does, but he's hammered in the tackle. The Australian Schools Barbars are up quickly, and they may have stolen this. This is excellent from Vili Leah from Ipswich Grammar School.
Number for that one, 10.
McCaskill.
Numbers left, Patrick.
Number 10,
it's a
not
shame.
rolling.
So they go for the points, so they kick for the corner, Winston, keep this momentum. Points is the call, I think.
Fantastic work from the right winger, Viliami Leah from Ipswich Grammar School, but then closely followed up by number 6 Brodie McCaskill from Arranmore over there in WA. And you can see there the advantage of that support play. Back row here is going to have to work super hard with one player off the field there in Luke Moretti. And he's done a great job there. They had numbers to the left. It would have been nice if they could get it outside there. Really put some pressure on this Fijian outside defence.
And 2 kicks for penalty in the last few minutes. Certainly eats up the clock of the Australian player in the bin. in Luca Moretti from Waverley College. So nice little tactical kick as well.
Smart play.
And this is better over the black dot, you'd say, for that one. So the Barbarians extend their lead 18 points to 10, and that's now a try and at least 2 scores.
Sorry, go ahead.
For Fiji to
Who's on?
take back the lead.
It's complete. All right, good. Play on.
So 44 minutes gone in this match. It's the Barbarians 18.
Lost 40.
Fiji 10, and that's been lost forward is the call.
Was a knock on by Black. One and knock for Green.
Looks like we'll see some replacements now for the Australian Barbarians team, Patrick.
So that is Phoenix Hunt from Nudgee College in Brisbane, or St Joseph's College, Nudgee, Brisbane.
So,
and number 18, Moses Alo-Emil from Brisbane State High School. So 2 replacements, and that's the crowd just
last couple of scrums. Okay, so
clapping off Dowling. He's
after set.
played a good game, the Australian Barbars scrum half.
And young Ebenezer Driddy from Griffith High School, and they've both done very, very well. And young Dylan Dowling from a long history and line of halfbacks from St Joseph College with good clearing has had a great game.
Early push.
Early push is the call, so Barbarians now have a bit of...
Captain. Scrum. Thank you. Scrum.
So the classic first scrum after getting some front row reserves on, a little bit of sorting each other out. Moses Alo-Emil from Brisbane State High coming into tight head there, the brother of Paul Alo-Emil, who played for the Rebels and also came through our junior system at both schoolboy and under-20s level. Currently over in France, I believe, still playing at Stade Francais. Experiencing a bit of culture and some top 14 rugby.
Bind.
So we'll have a scrum on the
set
40-metre line. 7 metres in from that far sideline for our broadcast position. So Hunt with the pass and a big barnstorming run by Joey Walton. Looks for the offload and wrestled to the ground. Good long place. Hunt keeps the ball alive. This is better from Oscor's Barbarians. And that was Lachlan Osborne again. But knock on, just ending that attack run.
It's unfortunate, Patrick. A little bit ambitious there out of this right wing there, trying to get the offload. But again, another big run for number 19, Lachlan Osborne from Canberra Grammar. But what about that backline attack there? Sending Joey Walton through a nice big hole. And you can see there the work of the other players off the ball create that space. So it's Walton running a good line, but it's all those other players inside and out running lines that attract defenders that enable that hole to exist. So good signs for the Australian Barbarians.
Sorry. 12. Sorry, gents.
So another substitution. Amaniasi short.
Yep, same up.
Leave the field of play. It looks like there's been an injury to Juito Vunikonolo.
So Luke Moretti back on the field, Patrick. So we've got the full complement for the Australian Barbarians. So it'll be good to see them really put some pressure on here at scrum time.
Set!
Oh, that went straight down.
Yep. Your side.
So young Egan Siggs from the Southport School showing his versatility by moving across to the loose head prop side.
Just come a little bit closer.
With Moses Alo-Emil coming in at tight head. They went in hard there, and let's hope they can get some good contact in this scrum so it stays up.
Crouch.
Referee Davis officiating today alongside our Brad Smith and Hamish Britt. And fourth official is Tom Nicol. Penalty straight away from referee Davis. So I wonder if that will lead to further danger for the Fiji Schools side as The Barbars ignore the option for points and
No.
now look to extend
And
this
that
lead.
17 is too low, and he brought the scrum down.
So Siggs throws this over the top and well taken as Hunt. He finds Parada, a little short pass, and they go out the back, the Oz Schools, and Walton gets the flat pass to Dowd. Dowd throws it again, and they've moved it from one side of the field to the other, but unfortunately just went a bit too far, and the pressure from the defences will have a Fiji Schools line out just
11
outside.
green, sub.
Barbarians,
11 sub.
Patrick, looked slick through the hands there, but just ran out of space. You know, eyes up all the time, looking at where you are. Maybe could have brought the winger in a little bit earlier, really set up play there inside the 22 and launched a bit of an attack. But they look good there, so hopefully they get a bit more ball so they can play out the back just like that.
So Fiji Schools
Stay.
kick the ball high, and Dowd allows it to bounce, and this is danger here. Jimenez had to motor back. Fiji Schools are onto it, and you can hear the crowd cheering for the Fiji attack. Oh. As we've gone in for the clean out, Jimenez from one of the stars of the Australian Schools National Championship earlier in the year for the ACT side, the championship winning ACT side. They go to the short side and they've taken it quickly, have Fiji. This is danger for the Australian Schools Barbarians. Walton goes in to make the tackle and a huge hit by Leah. Desperate defence now from the Barbarians team as Fiji start to rumble. Ball still good for Fiji.
Take a step. 8.
I think Moretti may have just been offside there, and short again is the call from the referee. This is desperate defence from the Barbars. Can they keep Fiji at bay? Coming back from the
Playing the ball on the
penalty.
ground. You were never on your feet when you picked the ball up.
Maybe getting out of jail there, the Australian
Holding the ball on the
Barbarians. Patrick, earlier on, a really good sign by the referee there. Young Dowd with one knee on the
You were
ground
never on
being
your
held,
feet,
has
so you
to
can't pick
release.
the ball up.
And sometimes when you're just on one knee, you forget that.
Just
So
wait.
the penalty goes to Fiji. They play strongly into this left corner,
Playing the ball on the ground.
and then they play the ball on the ground with their hands. Maybe a little bit of patience there needed by Fiji, and a great clearing kick by the left footer Parada, and that relieves pressure for the Australian Barbarians, and hopefully they're really up to launch here again from around about halfway.
And the crowd certainly liked that one, and you're listening to the thoughts of the ARU General Manager, and today Rugby.com.au commentator Ben Whittaker, who's the General Manager of High Performance, as Parada throws the ball in. Nice little flat pass out the back to Walton. He's lost the ball on contact. Ball still good. It comes back for Fiji Schools. They've pinched it. They go to the short side.
Cross forward.
Lost forward is the call. Good pressure and defence.
They should play here, Patrick.
Callan, the garment.
Advantage over for the knock.
Will Holland smashed in the tackle and sent back. Keep going to the left, out the back they go. Throws the ball on the inside to Leah, who's been strong today for the Australian Schools Barbarians.
From the side, number 6.
Whoa, a little bit of saying hello there between the two packs.
Great counter-rucking there by the Fijians. They didn't want to let that ball go, and they put immense pressure on the Australian Barbarians at the breakdown, ultimately won the penalty. So well done to the Fijians there. They're still in this game.
So a kick just not getting the distance that Douglas DeVito would have won, but still in the red zone for the Australian Schools Barbarians.
For Fiji. Sub.
As Pene
We got
Narube,
blood. We got blood. Time's off.
I think he's heading to the blood bin.
Yeah. Anything? No, mate, it's good. Just wait. Got blood.
So just a quick stop at the moment. It's an 8-point lead, Ben, but this game we know quickly and from anywhere Fiji teams can score. You would think they need a bit more of a buffer if they want to keep this game at the moment.
Absolutely. Big defensive
Lost forward.
play here. Well done to the Barbarians to win that line out.
Advantage is over.
Holland rescued that and gets it off to Parada. He kicks it off high and long, and now Jimenez makes the tackle. Goes high on his opposite number, but brings him to the ground. Oz Barbarians may have stolen this, and that is the line-out for the Australian side.
Yeah, well, they're backing the defence, aren't they, Patrick, in this this sort of 5-10 minute period here. The Barbarians haven't had a lot of possession, so they've had to really work hard to keep Fiji out and make sure that they're moving forward up the field.
Over the top it goes, and Phoenix Hunt gets the ball. Throws it into the arms of Brendan Jimenez. Here goes Osborne. The big man hasn't cracked at the line. Another Canberran in this team.
Fine hit.
Hello, Emil. Wrestles the ball to the ground off the Fijian player. Is cleaned out. Here goes Hunt. Short ball. Again to Osborne, the danger man, as Fiji legally try and pinch that at the breakdown by raking it back with your hands, which you can't do once the ruck is formed.
Captain.
Right in front of us here, Patrick, and so we won't let him get away with it either. But a big hand in there. And Fiji have got to stay disciplined and patient here.
Hands in the ruck.
They want to really put the pressure on the Barbarians.
So we're almost back where we were about 4 minutes ago when the Barbars were down in this pocket. So
Captain,
what can they do now? And can they?
The number of penalties has started to increase in the last 5-10 minutes. Can you just tell your team to keep discipline, particularly at the breakdown, the tackle?
Good chat there from referee Davis.
Well, Fiji, you know, they played nice and wide last play, didn't they, the Australian Barbarians were here. Let's see if they maybe play a bit of deception through the middle here.
Six goes to the back pod and it's been lost forward. So both teams just saying hello.
Schoolboy frustration. I think the two number 4s, maybe again Patrick, maybe challenging each other on the quick taps. You know, that's been a big contest all game, hasn't it? The two number 4s.
It has been a real
They've been
battle
at each other. It's good to see.
I don't need that.
You know, type 5
I've
players.
got a clear push test by 4.
Yep.
Okay, these things are going to aggravate the game, so I'm going to penalise it here. You guys need to go back 10. All right. Push by number 4.
So penalty against Australian Schools Barbarians. Against Max Douglas.
No.
And in the battle of the 4s, it's Max Douglas taking on Apasai Tuwai.
Beautiful spiral kick for touch there, Patrick. For the Fijian fly half.
Just heard that ball just bounce off. Beautiful old grandstand here at TG Millner.
Oh, it's lovely being a ball boy here at TG Millner, Patrick. You spend half your life around the back of the stand here.
The Spiders haven't, as the ball comes down for Fiji Schools. A nice little short pass that was taken well. That was Bartariga. Fiji Schools keep going to the short side. A little offload, but it's been lost by Mosi Narube.
Talked about him a lot, Patrick, but it seriously wouldn't surprise me if Apasai Tuwai, the number 4 from Fiji, ends up on the 7 circuit.
Okay.
He's got fantastic hands, great athlete. Point of difference being about 6'4", offload, and very, very active.
There's plenty of 7s action coming up in the near future as we re-enter the 7s season with the World Series for both men and women, and plenty of tournaments coming up domestically as well, including the National 7s Championships later on this year.
Crouch! Bind! Not straight, steady, not steady.
So not steady is the call as Fiji restarted quickly. And diving over the top of that
20, no!
is Callum Nagama. Fiji go to the short side, they're flat-footed, but they can accelerate from anywhere. That was Kurisago, took that ball into contact. Full-on penalty against Australian Schools Barbars. Referee Davis is having a bit of a field day at the moment as the ball goes inside the 22. This is going to be a try to Fiji Schools. Unless it's held up.
Brad, have you got a forward pass? No, you're fine. Try.
And that's certainly awoken the Fiji section of the crowd here at TG Millner here in Eastwood. And just beautiful offloading And they just didn't quit coming, and the ball was eventually grounded. Just trying to grab a number for you.
Thanks, mate.
But Fiji Schools have narrowed this gap to 3 with a kick to come. So potentially to make this a 1-point ball game as we head into the final 10 minutes, Ben Whittaker.
Well, superb insights from you earlier there, Patrick, talking about the ability for Fiji to attack from anywhere, even flat-footed. And they did it with some great offloads.
Gents.
You know, really direct, great offloads. Again, maybe the Australian Barbarians going a little bit high in their tackle, allowing the offload. And their support play is superb in every aspect of their game, Fiji. So they're right back in this. Kick to come. Could be a 1-point ball game.
Just a short stab at it, and it's come off the post and gone in. So well taken in the end by Penny Tuina Lalaba. So Oz Barbarians 18, Fiji Schools 17.
They're going left.
As we head into the 57th minute of this match. So there's plenty at stake here from both teams. They want to register their first wins in the international calendar. Fiji Schools yet to win, as is the Oz Barbarians. Both sides losing to New Zealand schools. As the ball is allowed to bounce, and that is a dangerous bounce as the ball's thrown out the back, but may have been rescued by Oz Barbarians. But it comes good for Fiji Schools, and they start to motor now, the Fijians. This is when they're dangerous from the counter-attack. They go to the left. They keep it in close hands. This is Penny Narube. Now it goes to Vinny Kolo. Just steps inside. Fiji keep the ball in hand. Less than 5 metres out from the Oz Schools Barbarians try line. We've seen the Barbars repel Fiji before. Can they do it again? And they have. So they rescue their chestnuts out of the fire.
Fantastic pressure. Again, look, there's a little bit of push and shove. This means a lot to these players out there. At the moment, 1-point ball game, and Fiji are putting everything into this final 12 minutes. And you can see again, Patrick, probably the second, if not third, kick from Fiji that's been left to hit the ground and bounce anywhere as it does. Fiji there in numbers. They win the ball and they're away. Australian Barbarians got to do a far better job at holding on to that football.
But it's just got to be consistent with 5 minutes ago.
So back 3 for Oz Schools under a bit of pressure.
You for a push, just like back down there, okay?
And there's been a penalty for a push.
Time is still off for the
so
blood.
Great consistency
Time is still off for the blood.
From referee Patrick Davis.
Well, the one thing Patrick Davis is very calm, isn't he? He's very clear in his communication.
So we're just going to take the time for him. All right? Yeah.
He's done very well today. As a couple more changes are made by Oz Schools Barbars. We've just seen Oliver Barden and Egan Siegs from Brighton Grammar School in Melbourne and the Southport School on the Gold Coast leave the field respectively. They've been replaced by Michael Palakis from Knox Grammar School and Will Bremer from Chatswood High School.
Thank you. Just keep me posted on time there.
Patrick, I think you'll find that Joey Walton's come off for Michael Palakis, and
yeah, we know.
The reserve Lucid prop in Alex Saga, number 17, from Melbourne Grammar Schools, come on, and Alex, the brother of Melbourne Rebels player Ferretti Saga.
Okay.
If you look at the size of our front row going into the next scrum, we're certainly not going to lose on size alone.
As the ball bounces roughly above our heads here at TG Millner. So this game is very much there for the taking from both sides. Who's going to have the courage and determination to be able to do it? Ball goes off the top, taken by Hunt. Hunt finds out in the middle of the field, he finds Nagamu.
Taken back.
Taken back's the call from the referee. Kick over the top from Parata.
Hey, 14. 14.
They dropped it.
Ball was lost forward, but the referee's missed it. He's looking at Australian players he thought was offside.
Out.
Kick over the top. That hasn't gone anywhere. Advantage is being played. A little knock on. Offside is the call. It was nice short hands in there between Lachlan Osman and Nagamu. Hunt gets it off to Will Holland. Hailing from the ACT side as that wind really starts to pick up here at TG Millner. Well, Schools Barbarians playing penalty advantage, and the Fijians are giving away a few penalties at the moment.
Good.
And they go to the short side. This is better from Fiji Schools.
Thank you. Yeah. Injury. Time's off.
So we've got a time off for an injury.
2 penalties. First one was off. No. That's fine. The first one was offside at the kick. Right, the players were in front of the kicker. The second one was offside in general play. We've got 10 minutes to go. Really need to make sure that your players lift on the offside.
Patrick, good opportunity this break to recognise someone who's done a lot for Australian rugby, and in particular Australian Barbarians, and that's Charlie Blunt, who's the outgoing president
it was this
of the Australian Barbarians. I can see him just down to our right here, sitting here watching, and what he's done over the last couple of years is ensure that the Australian Barbarians have a greater sort of broader role within the Australian rugby system, and hence them becoming supporters of this effectively Australia A schoolboys team, now known as the Australian Barbarians. They carry the classic Ram logo on their jersey, the myrtle green, if you call it myrtle green.
So correct me if I'm wrong, gents, you have
jersey as well, and obviously we spoke earlier about the ability for the players to wear their school socks, which is a great Barbarian tradition. Okay, so to Charlie Blunt and all the efforts he's made and put in over the years as Australian Barbarians president. He's been a great rugby man and will continue to be so.
Yeah, well said, as we just slow down the game a little bit with a kick for penalty. This is a difficult one.
Might be a slight breeze, maybe, do you think, Patrick, just supporting this kick from Parada?
Yeah, the wind certainly picked up, blowing, as you see the screen, from left to right.
Well, I sort of hope the camera's pointing at this Australian flag over the back there, because it's dead set still, Patrick, so I think we're lying.
Had enough oomph, just not the accuracy, so...
Captain,
Barbarians 18.
2 minutes on top. So it's 6 minutes.
Fiji 17.
Oh, it was rough.
Big kick over the top. This is going to be taken by Billy Lee. Trick flows it back in on the inside. That wasn't probably the best thing to do. Now Fiji Schools have the ball in a dangerous position. The Barbars will have to mine it back quickly. Counter ruck is on, but it's not good enough as the Fiji Schools moving out to the right. Tuwai steps inside. They go to the short side through Balathata. Just outside the Oz Schools Barbarians 22. Tuwai again, the try scorer. Can he get another? Short pass goes back on the inside. That was Utamagalagi. Ball's lost and booted out of danger. But can it find touch? And yes, it does, but it was well outside the 22, but there was no advantage for losing the ball forward. So it'll come back for a scrum.
Some crucial tackles there made, Patrick, by number 20, Cullen Namu from Brisbane Boys College, well supported by Moses Alamil. Stole the ball, stopped the momentum of the Fijians, and unfortunately that kick, if it found grass a little bit more in field, then the race was on. Not bad field position for the Australian Barbarians here to attack. Obviously midfield, plenty of space. They don't want to get caught back here in their 30-metre zone. They don't necessarily just have to kick either.
Crouch! Bind!
So, the scrum is ready. We've already seen a few scrum penalties today. Will there be another? Straight down is the Australian pack, so it's a penalty for Fiji. They're going to go for points. Just under 6 minutes to go in this game. So...
There's 4 minutes.
Referee signals 4 minutes remaining.
4 minutes, okay.
That's been a tight tussle in that front row, particularly since the two reserve sets of front rowers have come on. That's a big penalty. This is a big kick. I mean, he didn't waste any energy in the last kick at goal, but just sneaked over from about 10 metres. So this will be an interesting shot. And if this goes over, there's still plenty of time here for the Australian Barbarians to register the win.
So this is going to be taken by Penny Tui Analaba. And that has got the distance and the accuracy, so it's over. So Fiji Schools retake the lead. It's Fiji 20, Aus Schools Barbarians 18. Less than 4 minutes to go in this game as the Barbarians take it quickly.
Off the head.
Off the head is the call, and this may have come up for the Barbarians. Looks like Fiji Schools have got back there in numbers, though, to secure it.
Turnover, Patrick.
Turnover. So we've got a little knock on at the back of the breakdown, so scrum opportunity now.
And as you said before, the Fijian crowd here, the supporters in the stand here, are making it as noisy as it was in Suva a few weeks ago when the Perth Spirit went to ANZ Stadium in Suva with over 10,000 people cheering their team on. It was an amazing atmosphere. We're starting to see that here again at TG Millner.
Bind. Set.
Oh, and he's gone, the penalty for Fiji Schools. Referee Davis. So going again down on that far side.
No, there's 2 minutes.
2 minutes left to go. And you can certainly feel the tension in and amongst the crowd.
2 minutes.
So the Barbarian line-out here will have to compete. They've been good in the line-out today.
Yeah, Max Douglas, the line-out general for the Barbarians, has been very strong, affecting a few steals. What can he do here? He leeches up, but the ball's good for Fiji Schools, goes over the top. The Barbarians muscle up in defence, but again, the Fijians, with that offload ability, Will Holland manages to eventually bring Narube to the ground. Fiji Schools, they go to that right-hand side, a long looping pass, and bounced out of the tackle. It was Moses Alo-Emil. Old Schools, Bars just feeling the pressure at the moment. They need to get onto possession. Long looping pass, goes for the attempted intercept, but now there's an overlap here for Fiji Schools. The tackle must be made, and Oz Barbars need to get their hands on this pill. They motor back in defence.
Back up. Late tackle. Here.
Late tackle is the call.
So it's a late tackle. What number? 19 here.
It's number 19 for Schools Barbarians. Lachlan Osborne has been great since he entered the field of play.
It's going to make it difficult from here for the Australian Barbarians, particularly if they go for goal. And they will.
This is last play. Late tackle, 19 green.
Last play is the call.
Just there.
Well, it's still not over. We've seen before that the goal kicker from Fiji loves to caress the ball. Doesn't waste any energy in getting over the crossbar. That's all you need. Only just has to go over the crossbar to get your 3 points here. However, if it falls short, it's game on Australian Barbarians, and they'll have to play in the true Barbarian spirit, you have to think, to go almost 100 metres. But you know what? It can happen.
You can't give the water. Done. Hey, a water.
The crowd for Fiji up on their feet here at TG Millner. Will this seal the game? Or can the Barbars have one last crack? Penny Tuianalaba goes, kicks high.
Here we go.
And it's short, so one last chance for the Old School Barbarians, and Jimenez is off. He races through 1, 2, 3, 4 tackles and is eventually brought to the ground. What can the Barbars do? They need to be patient and hold on to the ball. They get on to Holland, who gets it outside to Alex Sagaha, who bounces his way out of one tackle and goes back with a long place. It's not over yet for the Barbarians. They keep it in short. Here goes Max Douglas. He's been strong today. The big towering lock for the Barbarians. Playing advantage. Here we go.
High tackle.
High tackle is the call. A long looping pass over the top. A step one way and a flat pass. They get it out to Vili Lia. He manages to get back into traffic and into the support of his forwards. Holland dives in over the top. Off his feet is the call. And the referee goes to blow the penalty, but no sound came from his whistle. Playing advantage still for those Barbarians. This is it for the Australian team. What can they do? They move over the halfway line. They've picked the ball up from the 22, so they've made about 30 metres. Still playing penalty advantage to the Barbars. Hunt looking for the ball, and he finds it. Throws the ball back on the inside. I think that was Polakis from Knox Grammar who made that run. So they've got to the halfway line. Can they keep going, Ben Whittaker?
Off your feet.
Well, it's a big call here. If he's going to take the penalty shot here, it's 50 metres with angle. Right. Now he can go for touch and get a line out deep inside the 22. A law brought into World Rugby thanks to the NRC. A line-out option is possible here. They will exercise that right to kick the line. You'd like to think this goes deep inside the 22 and we launch an attack.
It's inside the 22. You wouldn't say it's deep.
This is the last play.
But this is the last play, as the referee has said. It's been the last play for about 3.5 minutes now.
Exciting school rugby, always exciting.
The crowd is on the edge of their seats here at TG Millner. The ball goes over the top and it's taken there. Hunt gets it down. He finds Parada, nice short pass, and it's been lost forward. But a penalty for offside from Fiji Schools. The drama doesn't stop here at TG Millner.
Well, that's an amazing result there.
Points right in front, and Fiji Schools may have made a huge error at the death.
Two black, offside.
A pressure kick coming now, two black. That is Mainoa Moselotu.
Clearly a huge shame for Fiji if this goes over, but it happened at the other end, didn't it, Patrick?
It did.
You know, where they got the opportunity through some ill-discipline from the Barbarians to shoot for goal, so the referee again has just been consistent.
Very consistent from referee Davis. Parada looks at the post. I almost can't watch. And it's over. And the Oz Schools Barbarians have stolen victory from the jaws of defeat here at TG Millner. Emphatic scenes as they celebrate on the field, and devastation for the poor Fijian Schools team. They were so close from nabbing a rare win against an Australian side, and you can see the disappointment in their face. Some of them just walking off at the moment, but what a thrilling match here between the two sides, Ben Whittaker.
Fantastic game. They're getting deserved applause as they walk off the field, and you can see they're devastated because, you know, the passion they play with. They had a real strong opportunity to win that game. But look, you have to congratulate the Australian Barbarians for that last, 3 or 4 minutes. There was a kick at goal there. They received the ball effectively under the post, and they did go pretty much 85 metres, set themselves up for a penalty goal to win the game. So a great schoolboy game of rugby, and the crowd showing their appreciation. And
what a pressure kick from Campbell Parada. I mean, I know it wasn't the most difficult kick, but when you've got every eyeball on the place on you here at TG Millner, he certainly handled that well.
I'll tell you what, and he didn't just caress that one, he shoved it straight into house number 358 down the bottom of Waimea Road. And that's another ball boy nightmare because they are not getting that one back.
Dear. Well, fantastic game of footy we've seen here today between the Oz Schools Barbarians. They've defeated Fiji 21 points to 20, and that is their first win of the international calendar, as we see now both teams shaking hands. Plenty of action coming up here today from TG Millner. We've got up next the Australian Schools side playing New Zealand Schools. That match is going to be broadcast live on Fox Sports. And then after that, it's the National Rugby Championship between Greater Sydney Rams and the Fijian Drua here in the NRC. It's a pleasure calling us in very energetic game here with you. And we look forward to seeing you next time on Rugby.com.au as we look at some highlights here from this awesome clash here today between the Australian Schools Barbarians and Fiji Schools.